Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where the sun's always shining and the stories are even brighter. Each episode, we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and beachside businesses that make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Well Care Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbors. Today we have good neighbor Ben Duval from Tunaskin.
Greetings.
Yes, so excited about learning about businesses on Fort Myers Beach and what's going on in the community. You've been there for such a long time, right?
Yep. Yeah.
Just recently rebuilt and reopened. So let's back, for the people that aren't familiar with your story, let's back that up a little bit.
Tunaskin, we are a aquatic apparel company brand. We started here on Fort Myers Beach, had our flagship store right here on Fort Myers Beach.
Really? Okay.
Started in a garage, actually. And
all the best places to start in a garage.
Of course, you know, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. So we're just the same, just we're getting there.
Right?
We're getting there. But rumor has it, legend has it that the name came from the Tunaskin name. The owners were off the coast of the Florida Keys fishing, and they were fishing for tuna, and they looked at the tuna and they said, tuna doesn't really look like it has any scales. It looks like it's just skin. We could name it Tunaskin. We could name the company Tunaskin. So wearing our clothes is kind of like wearing a tuna skin, but without the smell.
I love it. See, and you got to know the history behind a name sometimes, because there's always a unique.
And I did say legend
story.
has it, so I don't know exactly
Right.
how much of that is true,
Right.
but that is the story, and the legend sometimes is better than the
Well,
actual
I'm saying, the more you tell it, the bigger it gets. Right?
Exactly, it's like a fishtail.
That's it. See, so why Fort Myers Beach?
Fort Myers Beach was home to the company,
Okay.
and it was somewhere where we felt like we were really part of the community. And it's where we started. It's where we continue to thrive, whether it's with all of the Fort Myers Beach events that are happening all over the area. And it's just, especially like with everything that's happened with the storms and everything that's happening with the storms and having to rebuild everything, it kind of, the sense of community really came back that we felt. And it was, you know, everybody knows your name, and sometimes that's a good thing, sometimes that's a bad thing.
Right.
But it is when it really comes down to it, everybody's friendly, everybody's, you know, they're in it for the same reasons, to just have a beautiful area that we call home. And most of the business owners, you know, they know each other and they work really well together.
It is. It's like you said, it's a melting pot. It's a paradise that we've all been attracted to, and we all help each other out. So let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
You know, obviously, you know, being by the beach, we have our storms.
Yes.
You know, we've had a number of big ones lately. But both personally and maybe professionally, what has that done to you?
Well, the good and the bad of it, and we were just, as a company coming out of, as we were getting ready for this, coming out of a hurricane prep meeting with our operations team, going through, all right, if we need to pull the trigger on a hurricane, what do we need to do? 4 years ago, this meeting was an hour and a half. This meeting that we just had was 15 minutes, because we've been there,
Right.
we've done that, we got the t-shirt, we know exactly how to do it. We went through it with Ian, where we had, 14 feet come in and take care of the entire store, and just kind of cleared everything out for us. So we could, I always say, the blessing of losing the Fort Myers Beach store was we finally got to design it to exactly what we wanted. You know, we were no longer going into a space that was designed for other businesses. We were then being able to design the space.
Yeah, that blank canvas.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so that really helped us out with getting ready for the hurricanes that we had last year in 2024. And when you have a aquatic apparel brand, you are next to the water, and you are located in paradise, and you are right in the middle of hurricanes during hurricane season. So we always have, with each of our 4 retail locations, we have kind of the steps that we go through with each location of whether we need to move merchandise upstairs if it has a second level, or if we need to go get a U-Haul and bring all the merchandise to the warehouse or to another secondary location to get it out. And so that was Ian was really helpful getting us ready for Milton and Helene that hit last year. And they didn't really affect our Fort Myers Beach store as much as they affected our Sarasota store. In our Sarasota store, we ended up getting 3.5 feet of storm water in our Sarasota St. Armand store. So that was tough, but luckily we had done, leading into that after Ian, we had gotten to the point where we would say, all right, move all the merchandise upstairs, get everything upstairs. And you hate doing that over and over again because 2 days later they say the hurricane isn't coming. And then you put everything downstairs like it was 2 days before that, and you go, no, that was a waste of time. And you always feel like it's a waste of time until that one time that you go, really glad we did that. And that was that time.
And I think, down here in Southwest Florida, we got, I want to say comfortable, but we kind of, in a sense, did get comfortable because the last couple of storms that came through, we didn't have that surge. It actually had the reverse, where whether it was tides, it went out and it pulled the water out. So people are like, yeah, it's not gonna hit us. And like you said, the one time that it does,
time that it does, and it changes your mindset from there on out. Because especially a lot of people move here, they don't know what hurricanes are. They go through a couple of hurricanes, they go, we got this. I understand hurricane parties and hurricane party prep. That's all well and good until you get hit with an actual hurricane. And then you go, wait, this is really tough.
That beer is really not going to help you.
Exactly. I had to cook all my meals on the grill for 4 days and heat up the coffee on the grill and no AC, no electricity for 4 days or however long it is. So we learned a lot from it. We're still learning. Is the best way to combat it is to be prepared for it and make sure you're doing everything that we can to avoid the big impact that would really, really hurt a smaller company like us.
And you mentioned it's not something you want to be great at.
Exactly.
But you still got to prepare on the other
side.
But
when the time comes to pull the trigger and say, all right, we got to do this, the anxiety is less because you know the steps.
Yes, exactly. You're familiar with what could happen and how bad it could be, so you know what to cover. So let's talk. You touched on a little bit before about community. And I know you guys do quite a bit to support the community and sponsoring events. The Songwriter Series is one of them as well too. But what other things are you guys doing
specifically for the community? I mean, we partner, like you said, we do the songwriters events. We have done fishing tournaments, charity fishing tournaments, both offshore. We do an inshore fishing tournament, which we actually kind of took that template and moved it to our new Sarasota location. And we did our first beach fishing tournament in Sarasota this past season, trying to, establish ourselves in the community there. We also do, I don't know if you've been to it, some of the followers might have, we have a pretty killer beach cleanup every year.
Really?
So we do what started out as a small, we call it our Beach Keepers Club. And small, it's a beach keeping cleanup every year. And it started out, we had about 80 plus people. Our first year, we had some donated food from local restaurants just to kind of feed people afterwards and clean up the beach. We're on year, I don't remember exactly what year, but I do know that last year we had 400 plus people at our beach cleanup. And then from there, we started bringing in live bands that would play. We have the food, we have raffle items. So it was bringing the beach cleanup core and then expanding on that and not making it just an event that you get up early, you go do the beach cleanup, you're done by 10, it's hot, you go home, you take a shower. Now it's an event. You hang out, you have some drinks, you have some food, there's live music, we have raffles at the end. So that really creates the sense of community where most of the time when we do these events, when they're over with at 1 o'clock, they're over with at 1, but everybody knows everyone. So everyone sits around the rest of the day and kind of just hangs out. So the official is over with at 1, but the event keeps going.
And that's, and again, it's great with the community and bringing people together and keeping the beach clean.
Yeah.
It's amazing how many people are so messy out there.
It surprises me. And we've expanded our Beach Keepers Club to all of our 4 retail locations.
I love that.
So we've got Sarasota, we do a Beach Keepers Club. We've done it in our St. Armand's location. We're doing it now with our Siesta Key location.
Okay.
Key West, we go down there and we call it an island cleanup because there aren't a lot of beaches in Key West. Right. But the surprising thing is Key West is everybody goes, well, where should we clean up? There's tons of places that need it.
Yep.
Unfortunately, like you said, a lot of the tourists and locals even, the biggest thing that they pick up is cigarette butts.
Crazy, right?
They pick up tons of cigarette butts because people just flick them and forget about them, and it's a hazard for birds and for people, and just getting out there and cleaning that stuff up, and one day a year. I always try and emphasize this: you shouldn't be doing this one day.
Yeah, it should be every time.
The one day should remind you why you should be doing it continually.
Exactly.
And so we kind of try and keep that. You light the fire. You give it a little bit of gasoline and you let it go and hope that people, every time I go out on the boat, every time I go to the beach, I've got a small bucket that I carry with me or an extra bag that I put stuff in.
Yeah.
And that's just through years of trying to make sure that you leave it better than you found it.
Exactly. And you're not just walking by like, somebody else will pick that up.
Yeah.
You actually going to pick it up.
Exactly.
Put it where it's supposed to be.
And that somebody else might be a bird. It might be a turtle. It might be something that shouldn't be picking up the garbage.
Exactly.
So just pick it up. Unfortunately, I've seen many piles of garbage or stuff strewn about and not 10 yards away from a garbage can.
Exactly.
So
it's crazy.
So throw away your stuff.
Yes.
Your garbage. Throw it in the garbage can.
So you're from Southwest Florida originally, right?
Well, I was born in Tallahassee. I'm actually 4th generation Floridian.
All right. Okay.
I wear the badge of Florida Cracker with pride.
Nice.
So I was born in Tallahassee, moved to Southwest Florida really young, when I was 4.
Okay.
And my dad was a golf pro. So, that kind of fits in Southwest Florida perfectly.
Yep.
And so until 18, I was the beach kid out on the boat, out at the beach. And at 18, you just want to get away from home. And I couldn't wait to get out. And I got out and I lived a bunch of different places. And I think it was that getting out of Dodge, getting away from it, and then going, it's not that bad. It's kind of really cool.
Yep. Right.
And so I spent some time in a bunch of different places, and then came back to Southwest Florida, and this is what I call home now. And now it's tough to go up anywhere up north when it's cool because below 60, and I'm like, break out the parkas and the skull caps and the gloves because it's cold.
You're better than me because it's below 80 for me. And I was born in Wisconsin. The same thing though. My daughter was born down here. She's like most Floridians, they get tired of down here and want to go somewhere else. She went back up north, spent one winter up there. She goes, yeah, no, that's not me.
Not so much. Yeah, the winters are beautiful, and I get it. And I saw my first snowfall, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And how could something be so beautiful? And 3 weeks later, I went, so when do we get to go to the beach?
Enough of that.
I get that there's ice fishing, but why would you fish on ice? Why wouldn't you just go down south? But yeah, it is definitely a eye opener.
It is. It's like owning a boat up there. You use it for 3 months?
Yeah, and then you store it. And I've had neighbors who said, "Well, are you going to winterize your boat?" I said, "Homeboy, this is Florida. We don't winterize. You can use it all year long."
Absolutely. So, that's why. Speaking of which, obviously you like getting out and boating, but outside of work, what do you enjoy doing?
Outside of work, I love to go fishing when I have time.
Okay.
That's kind of zen for me. I do a lot of solo fishing when I can. I read a lot of books. I try to read a lot of books. I think we always say we have the ambition of reading a lot of books, and they stack up on the nightstand, and then you go, yeah, but Netflix.
Yeah.
So I try to read a lot of books, and just My family is in the Florida area, so I try and, spend a lot of time with family. And
that's important.
And, yeah.
Very good. Very good. So what is one thing you wish our listeners knew about Tunaskin that maybe they wouldn't be too familiar with?
One thing that I wish that they knew, a lot of people, if they're just coming in and seeing Tunaskin, they see it as just another t-shirt company. And what we strive to be is not just another t-shirt company. Anyone can screen print, anyone can dye sublimate. What we do, we try and become part of the communities. Wherever we put our brick and mortar stores, we try and engulf ourselves into the communities, whether it's Chamber of Commerce, which is an easy one, but also hosting events there, getting, in the off season, it's the people that live there that are really going to come back over and over again, and they're going to bring their friends, and they're going to come back if they feel like it's their brand, if they feel like it's their company. We've seen a lot of people that they buy Tunaskin, they go up north, and when they come back the next year, they come back in and they buy it because, I went up north and I told all my friends back home we have Tunaskin. And so it's a source of pride.
It is.
So I think that's one of the big things that I would emphasize with the listeners is, we're not just a t-shirt brand. We kind of try and walk the walk and talk the talk. And, with our 100% recycled material, I'd say 80 to 85% of the stuff in our stores is made out of the 100% recycled plastics.
Wow.
So we try and, like I said, anybody can get a bunch of shirts and screen print them in their garage. We try to be a little different, give you a little something to go, but.
Yeah. So, and you feel like you're giving back to the community.
Exactly. And you are, because it's a lot of what we do. We partner with Keep Key West beautiful, keep Sarasota beautiful, keep Lee County beautiful. We partner with Plant a Million Coral down in the Keys, Moat Marine in Sarasota. So even the people that we're donating to or partner with, you're doing some good.
That's good. So that's what it's all about. End of the day.
That is what it's all about. If you can put your head on the pillow and say, you know what, I've done good today, then you're in a good place.
My slogan is no shade, just sunshine, right?
There you go.
That's what it's all about. Like it. Got to be sunny and bright and fun. So how would our listeners go about contacting you if they wanted to learn more, get some apparel?
So you can go, if you are within vicinity of any of our retail locations. We have a brick and mortar store on Siesta Key in the Village. We have a brick and mortar on Fort Myers Beach. We have a brick and mortar right here where we're doing the interview. It's also our warehouse in Bonita Springs. We also have a brick and mortar on Duval Street in Key West.
Very good.
If you're not within walking or driving distance, or depending on your income, flying or helicopter distance, you can check us out online on tunaskin.co. And we've got all of the stuff that you see in stores is online. Some of the stuff you can only find in stores because it is very store specific, like this one with the rooster on it for Key West.
I love it.
So you can only find those in the store. And so I encourage people to follow us on social media. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. Follow us on social media. We have a lot of events that we are either attending, that we are hosting, or that we are partnering with. And we will announce those and say, hey, we're in Key West this weekend for the Songwriters Festival, or we're doing Island Hopper Songwriters Festival, or whatever we're doing, come out and see us.
Love it.
And so even if we're doing the satellite locations that you go, wait, Tunaskin is in Clearwater? They don't have a store. We're going to Clearwater in about a month and a half.
There's a beach here.
There's a beach in Clearwater. So we'll be there for the offshore powerboat races.
Nice.
For that. So keep an eye, you'll follow us on social media to see what we're up to. Again, we try and all of our employees try and walk the walk and talk the talk. So if we're doing something cool, we take pictures and we post it, and you go, well, this was my weekend. What was your weekend?
That's it.
So check us out on social media, come to our stores, talk to our staff. Check us out on the website at tunaskin.co.
There you go. It's been a pleasure getting to know you.
You as well.
Thank you for being such a good neighbor, and I love what you're doing. So
thank you.
We'll see you at the beach soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Just play this and edit this.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where community meets paradise. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, stay sunny, stay salty, and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or island businesses to be on the show, go to CaboWaboGym.com, that's CaboWaboGym.com, or call 239-427-4100. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Welfare Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love.